Good morning, everyone, or what's left of morning. Today I'm going to do tip 181, and I know I'm running later, but I don't have a work scheduled day today. It's just stuff that I do to keep myself moving forward. Most know that I've been gone the past couple of days, and I'm just back from a trip to New York to study with some people that I've met through this past year, and I'll have to say it was amazing. I had such a great time learning and being around people that helped me to learn things that I didn't know before, or to help me get ready for making life different in the future. Hello, everybody. And I guess what I decided is, since I spent a whole weekend educating and learning from people that have accomplished more than I have, and it was just exciting to look at life in a different way and to look at life in a way to move forward. So I looked up an article today, and it was in Inc., and it was about 40 ways to move yourself forward in life and in business. And well, good morning. And what I decided to do is just share these tips. For those of us in the Doc V Challenge, we've heard many of them before, but it's always a good reminder. And I think every day, if we find one new thing that we didn't know before and we add it to our list, that'll be something that helps us to propel forward. For me, it was so exciting to learn with Chris Nagel's team this weekend. He's a lot involved with real estate and looking at money in different ways. And, as an accounting person, I love that kind of stuff. And just amazing people, Chris and Shauna and Andrew and all the people that I met that were part of the training. It was just amazing. And I will always be grateful for that time and look forward to anything else I learn from them. But in learning, I thought, how do I continue that to go forward? So this article was from Inc., I-N-C, that magazine, but it said 40 simple daily rituals for getting ahead. And number one, we've heard this even from Admiral William McRaven, make your bed. And that may sound funny, but the reason they say that is if you make your bed, you start your day with an accomplishment. And if you start your day with an accomplishment, you walk out the door head held high and you just feel better. Another one, and this is one I like too, is number 2 is spend 15 minutes reading during lunch. But it says to read something leadership, educational, something that will propel you forward. And I love reading, and I love the materials. If you get connected to certain groups, they'll actually even guide you on books that they liked or read and what was meaningful to them, and that helps. Number 3 is keep a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends. I've been doing that the past year, and it's been hugely beneficial. I love keeping a regular sleep schedule. I just feel so much better that way. Number 4 was reconsider the impossible. Something that you may have faced in your life and that you couldn't overcome, you may have the skills, the tools, or the knowledge to overcome it now. So it says every day when you start your day, kind of think about what's ahead of you, and is there a new way to approach it? And I think that's always good, because life is changing every day, and recognizing that and giving ourselves opportunities to look for quicker, faster, smarter, it would be hugely beneficial. Oh, and I like this one too, and I find this because I get up so early. Get a whole day in by 9 a.m. It says if you wake up, and there's multiple people out there, Robin Sharma's, this is referring to Anthony Trollope. There's somebody we were introduced to with group coaching with Chris Nagel a couple months ago, related to getting up early. Everybody out there talks about getting up early, getting a bunch of stuff under your belt, and then the rest of the day goes off with ease. And I even attribute it to college. When I was in college, I would hit it really hard for the first 3 quarters, because I always knew that by that last quarter of a semester, I would have what I labeled scholastic burnout. And it was so hard to engage that I needed to have enough momentum built up front that it carried me through to the very end. And I always did really well that way, because if I built a solid foundation, when I was starting to stumble, the foundation was strong enough to carry me through. Get a quality night's rest. Sleep is incredibly important. It makes you noticeably more productive. It lets you think more creatively. I agree with that too. I do follow a sleep schedule. Take a walk and talk. I think that's good too. I love to be outside in nature, and yeah, I've talked to even my animals in the house. So give yourself a chance to disconnect, but you can kind of talk things out with what you run into outdoors. It's just a beautiful way. Talking to nature, or just being in nature, is a good thing. Say you're sorry. It says saying you're sorry is one of the easiest things to do. Now, as women, I think we have to be careful not to overuse it just to say sorry every time we open our mouth, but make it meaningful. When you say it, it means something. Number 9, I love this one, love this one, love this one. Be curious. Be open to learning. Be excited about doing something you haven't done before. This past year could have been really rough on me if I had lived it as a victim, but I jumped in and took any kind of online training that I could get my hands on, and it's led me to a place where I know that the life is going to be better than what the past was. It says exercise every day, and exercise can be simply the walk in nature, doing trails, riding a bike. I love to walk at 5:30 in the morning and watch the sunrise. It's just beautiful. Or watch the sunset. Either one of those is I almost find it calming too, and I love to do that. Number 11, lay on a bed of nails and meditate. Now, okay, that one's a rough one. I haven't done that one. Meditate, I absolutely love. On a bed of nails, I'm not so sure, but hey, everything's worth a try. Study the numbers. It says ultimately it allows your management teams to let you know if you're having things off. And as an accounting person, that's true. We all have to do like monthly, quarterly financials. Take a look at lines of business. Is there anything that's not working? It's just a tool to keep you ahead of the game instead of behind it. As an accounting person, I'd rather be proactive than reactive. It's a lot easier to address something up front than behind. Here's one. Hand wash the dishes and do the laundry. They say it's meditative and relaxing. So maybe if the walk in nature doesn't calm you, maybe doing the cleaning, because I've heard that too. Run daily or do yoga, reflect, plan visions. Those are nice ones. Handwrite your top 5 for the day. I think this is important. If you have a major list of like 50 items that you think need to get done, only pull like 5 or 6 off that list for your current day to do, and then cross them off as you get them done. Then whatever doesn't get done, you can roll to the next day, but never start the day with any more to 5 or 6 because it overwhelms you. Never stop asking for advice or help. This past weekend was about learning from people that are farther in life than I am, and it was exciting. And it's really exciting too when they want to be there and help you, achieve things that you haven't achieved before. So yeah, always keep your mind open to learning and growing and reaching for things that maybe you didn't even think that you were interested in. Do not quit. Even Doc V in our live this morning was kind of talking about most of us are probably one click away, one step away from success, and so many of us quit that one failure, that one learning, because I'm trying to change that word failure into learning, that one stumble away from success. And we don't want to do that. I mean, if we've worked so hard that we're one step away from success, just keep trying. Eventually you'll find the path. Clean up email. Yeah, that's a good one because our emails can get really full. And if you clean them out, it does feel better. It's almost like getting rid of the junk mail when it comes in. Number 19 is get something important done. Yeah, a big thing. Like I find for myself, the bigger accounting problems I do fresh in the morning because my mind is crisper then. Because as I get later in the day, my mind isn't, it's already gone through so much, it doesn't want to do it anymore. Darn it. Number 20 is exercise both. Oh, I agree with this too. Exercise both sides of your brain. And I find as an accountant, because I'm analytical, every once in a while I like to disconnect, whether it's an adult coloring book, by adults I just mean it's a coloring book that adults use, which is maybe a cartoon from a show you watch on TV or something. Or motivational. They have motivational sayings that you can color, you can paint, anything like that, because it switches your mind, and that's kind of a cleansing, clearing too. Call someone important to you. Relationships are important. Even this weekend, it was so nice to meet people that I've been connecting with for over a year, so that it was a face-to-face connection. It was so nice. It was so nice to meet them. And I'll see some of them in the future too. Number 22 is make a problem list, not a task list. Interesting. Oh, that is really interesting. It says that they felt that it was making more meaningful progress if they were looking at it as a problem instead of a task. But again, each person kind of weigh it out and see what feels best for you. Exercise first. I'll say even that walk in the morning with the sun rising, that's a great way for me to start the day. And I generally get the day started with 4,000 to 5,000 steps if I do that. Play daily. I think that's important. Do something that makes you feel good. Whether it's your garden, whether it's walking, whether it's maybe a little bit of time coloring in your coloring book, but just find something that you get to disconnect so that you can reconnect. I think that even as an accounting person, when I get too into the details, I've got to back up so I can come at it fresh. Get outside of the office. I think that's important for a lot of us who've been cooped up for a long time. Don't overdo it. I do tend to want to try to overdo it, and I have to kind of keep things in check so that I realistically set my goals, because I don't like to fail. So if you set them unrealistic, then you just really set yourself up to not feel good. Treat people as you'd want to be treated. Golden rule. We all know that one. Ask yourself why you do what you do. Maybe you can find a better solution, or maybe you don't need to do it anymore. So that's just reevaluating. Stop chasing the investor and get the sale. Oh, interesting. How does a pizzeria make it? They don't get an investor, they sell pizzas. That's how they stay in business. If you don't have cash flow, you can't stay alive. It's funny, we talked about that this weekend. It is about cash flow. You got to keep the cash flow coming in. Inspire your team. Too many people in this world live by the theory that they're going to keep their secrets secret because they want that edge on everybody else. And even in Doc V today, he talked about that the most successful people want to share what they've learned with you because they want to make sure that what they've struggled so hard to get lives on past their years here. And I think that's a great one. It kind of goes back to Les Brown too. Don't take your gifts to the graveyard. Use them while you're here and share them with someone else so that they can make the world even better as each day and year go by. Spend one full day not working. Now that might be a great thing, whether it's Saturday or Sunday or even a day during the week. But when does it make sense that you can disconnect, get outdoors, spend some time with family, reconnect? I mean, I think that's going to be important to all of us. I know even during busy season that's hard because I tend to be on the computer 7 days a week. And I do think you need to disconnect because that gives you that fresh perspective again. Spend time where it all began, whether it's at the basketball court, whether it's at your elementary school, whether it's the high school. Just go back somewhere from your past and it gives you a quick pickup or something to look back at and kind of see where you came from. Get in the mindset to win the day. I think that's important. I've worked a lot with that with meditation and I am affirmations this past year, because if I go into my day thinking it's overwhelming and I can't get through it, it's almost like the universe wants me to get what I ask for, and if that's what I ask for, they're happy to deliver. So I make sure I tell it what I want in a very positive way. Exercise and meditate. Critical. Meditation is the tool that gets me through when my mind is causing me problems. Listen and stop waiting for your turn to speak. Yeah, I think that's true, because even this weekend, it was so interesting to hear the stories, and then even like the problem solving, because there was some problem solving going on, and I am so excited to see what's going to come together for some people based on what we were learning this weekend, and it was just amazing. And what I found is that those kind of events for me are hugely meaningful, because I meet people with that are in a place that I've always wanted to be. They share what they're doing to get there. And they're happy to share with you. And it felt good to be able to progress forward and to connect with people that have been kind of mentoring me for the past year. So it was just amazing. Program the coffee maker. They say that about getting up at 5 a.m. If you program the coffee maker and the coffee comes on, you'll smell it and you'll get up. My animals kind of do that for me because I set them up to get a treat in the morning. So if I do not get up to give them a treat, they will whine until I do. So some people, that might make them crazy, but I don't get mad at them because I set it up that way. Incentivize doing good. To instill a culture of giving back. A lot of companies are letting employees volunteer 1 day a year. Volunteering feels good. I actually volunteer for different organizations. It's looked different the past, year and a half, but I know a lot of that's opening up now. Look for trends. Oh, and this is interesting too, because we were even talking about this because people came from a couple different areas, and we were talking about like the trends of, like somebody was from Louisiana, so we were talking about like architectural styles from like the French Quarter, and There's a Puerto Rican area there, and learning about the culture of different areas was really interesting, and looking and identifying the trends, and even like the foods. He was talking about the foods in different areas that we all go to. Limit email reading, and that's going to probably go even to internet stuff, because we do all get caught up in it and time disappears before we know it. And then number 40 is one we've all heard before too. Keep a pen and paper by your bed, or keep it in your purse. If an idea comes to you and it's just not the time for it, just write that idea down. It'll be there to remind you later. I find that if I don't write it down, my brain will not stop trying to remember it, and then it blocks me from other things. So I'll run through this real quick and just read through them. A lot of these, many of us have heard from Doc V. I'm excited about what the future holds. This past weekend was just amazing, and I'm looking forward to doing more of those trainings. Chris Noggle, Andrew, Shauna, they were all amazing. Some of his other team members I did not meet, like Steven, and Steven's done a lot for me, or Joe. But it was amazing to connect with people that have been mentoring me for a long time. I was so grateful to spend time with them, and every single person that was there was so welcoming in it, and together we all kind of like worked through issues and became stronger. And I'm so grateful that I got to be a part of that group with them. And that's what kind of prompted me to want daily rituals for getting ahead in life. So I'll read through the list. I'll just read the numbers. I won't explain them. But just to kind of think, you can pick one today and move forward. Number 1 is make your bed. Number 2 is spend 15 minutes reading during lunch, but educational. Keep a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends, and I believe in that. Reconsider the impossible, because you might just find it's possible now. Get a whole day in by 9 a.m. I love that feeling of getting up, getting a chunk of stuff done, and then I go into the workday and everything feels like bonus. Get a quality night's rest. Take a walk and talk through what you're struggling with. Say you're sorry when it is time for you to say you're sorry. Be curious. Exercise every day. It says lay on a bed of nails and meditate. I can't say I've ever done that. Meditate, I love. Study the numbers, and it just means monitoring, where are you at? What do you need to do? How can you move forward? Being proactive instead of reactive. Hand wash the dishes and do the laundry. That's about connecting and meditative. There's something just meditative in that touch part of it. Run daily. Handwrite your top 5 for the day. Never stop asking for advice or help. Do not quit. Clean up email. Get something important done. Exercise both sides of your brain, which is the analytical side and then the creative side. And I do have to do that because the analytic will overpower, and I need to do something fun. Build a puzzle, fly a kite. Call someone important to you. This is time to reestablish those relationships, and maybe it's somebody you can connect up with. Make a problem list, not a task list. And they said for this person that solving a problem feels better than crossing a task off. So what works for you? If that's an opportunity, give it a try. Exercise first, play daily, get outside of the office, don't overdo it, treat people as you would want to be treated, ask yourself why you do what you do. And that might be like revisiting too. Is there something you can do in a better way? Stop chasing the investor and get the sale. And they kind of talked about that this weekend too, is you just got to get in there and get the job done. And Doc B says that a lot too. Get in there and get the job done, which is probably why Chris and Doc B are close and mastermind together, because they all have a school of thought that is successful, and that's who I want to follow, is those that are successful. Inspire your team. Loyalty is critical. We all want to be valued, and we all do have a value, and it just works better when we all recognize that and move together forward. Spend one full day working. That gives you a chance to disconnect, meditate, and reconnect with people that you may have lost touch with. Spend time where it all began. Maybe go back to the playground where you once played as a child and play basketball. Get in the mindset to win the day. So get up, start your day, do a couple things so you can check them off, and then you roll into the day successful, and it just feels great. Exercise and meditate. That kind of came up a couple times in here. I will say it's critical. I do it every day. Listen and stop waiting for your turn to talk. That is a problem, I think, with our society. Program the coffee maker, because it's another tool to help you get up. Because in my case, I use the animals. They know they get a treat when I get up. So if I don't get up when the alarm goes off, they will let me know. Incentivize doing good. What can you give yourself for doing something good? Maybe there is a trip you want. Maybe there's a club you want to go to. Maybe there's a movie you want to see. You know, incentivize and make it fun. Look for trends. And even this we were talking about in like different parts of the U.S. You know, what are trends with like housing, or what are trends with restaurants or foods? And it's just kind of fun too to recognize patterns and maybe find a way to use them. Limit email reading. We can all get caught up in that, and I'm sure we all get a lot of junk email. Ever so often I start unsubscribing to those that somehow end up in there that I don't even want. And then it says keep a pen and paper by your bed, because then I put it in my purse too, or on my desk at work, so that if I'm at work and something for personal comes up, I can just write it down so I can disconnect, because my mind wants to keep thinking about it because it's afraid I'm going to forget. I hope you guys found this useful. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I hope you find something beautiful in this day and something that propels you forward. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, and those in the Transform group, I'm going to go live tonight. So have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you.